Shall we dyno dump it again? Okay, yes, let's.
Tube lighting. Fluorescent tube lighting. It looks like a different colour in here, I admit. But no, that is Dumpit. That's, yeah. Obviously this is not Dumpit. This is a 106 Rally, a Series 2 106 Rally. The Series 1 106 Rally is the only TU engine car I've ever put on here which hasn't hit its numbers. It let the side down. This is a Series 2 Rally, so it's basically a Saxo underneath. It's effectively a Saxo VTR, but the engine is slightly different. I imagine the camshaft is slightly different. Valves maybe marginally bigger, I don't know, but the ECU is different. It revs higher. It's peakier, basically. It revs to over 7,000. Whether it pulls to over 7,000 or not, I don't know. This particular car is owned by Anthony, who used, I don't know if he does still write for Evo magazine, but he did write for Evo magazine, or he still does write for Evo magazine. And he saw the Dumpit video, and he said, "Ooh, can I bring this down to see if Dumpit can beat a 106 Rally?" And I said, "You can. I think this is going to beat Dumpit, if I'm honest." These are 100 out of the box. Oh, good question. 103? No, actually, I think these are 105 out of the box. I'm not sure. It's a 1.6, it's an 8 valve, it's effectively the engine that is in Hilda. This is the same engine, effectively, that's in Hilda. It's not exactly the same as to say that is a VTR engine. The specs are slightly different, but it is a 1.6 litre 8 valve TU engine. Look, it doesn't have a Dumpit pipe. It's got the straight doohickey thing. Now this car should, in theory, find itself here in this convenient space between VEP, my old BX 1.6, and Hilda, a car that has the same kind of engine. Hilda is at 117. This is meant to be 105 from the factory, so I'm not entirely sure it should be hitting those kind of numbers. But if it carries on this TU behaviour, if you like, the pattern of TU engine behaviour where it betters its book figures, who knows, we could be up to 110, something like that. Place some bets, I don't know. This thing has done 125,000 miles, but as we know, mileage is but just a number if the engine is sound. And I assume this one is, I don't know. It's owned by a motoring journalist, so it's probably been ragged to death. So I tell you what, that was run number 1. She's got some shove in the middle there. That is a really, really smooth drivetrain. Very little vibration. Where are we at? Ready? He's sat on the side of his sofa. He's on the edge of the seat. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Do you know? Oh, here we go again. Bloody 106s. So this is the number you're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. That one also has 10 horsepower more than it's meant to have, just like Dumpit. And before anyone goes, "Oh, you're rolling road, it'll be a rolling road, it's not accurate." Well, why does this not apply to every single car? It only applies to TU engines for some reason, and only if they're in 106s, seemingly. It felt very strong on the roller there. I felt that kick there. So it's not the smoothest, but it is still warming up, so it will probably improve this. Oh my god, not again. So there's me with Hilda with bloody PH3 cam and bike carbs and 421 manifold and all that bollocks, and this thing's just done the same thing in standard form. Although, admittedly, that was 99 when it was standard. So, I have to be honest, I'm not entirely surprised by this. Well, no, I am a bit. Am I? How surprised am I? Let me figure it out live on camera. there's meant to be around about 15 horsepower between one of these and a Saxo VTS. A Saxo VTS is on the leaderboard at 128 because it's meant to have 120, but it's running 8 horsepower more. 128 minus 116 is 12, which is not a million miles out on the gap between the two. So the gap is kind of where it's meant to be. It's just that all the numbers of all the cars are a little bit higher than they're meant to be. I've driven one of these before. When I was younger, a guy I knew called Paul had one of these, and I was quite jealous. It was very nice, and it felt fast. Now I know why. But generally, with an injected car, the first run is the lowest. The second is the second increases. The third becomes your highest normally, and after you get past the fourth, it all starts getting a bit too hot, and the numbers start coming down again. So in theory, if I do it again now, it's going to be 116 and a half, 117. Run number 2. Oh no, it dropped. Oh. Let's overlay that. So I've overlaid both the graphs. The black one is the run I just did. The red one is the first. The red one had a bit of a spike there for some reason, an anomaly. If the next run gets rid of that, I would have to say we're going to have to discount that run, because it looks like the smooth run is the black one, because everything else is kind of where it's meant to be. Still 114.8, it's basically 115, near enough. It's pretty good. 102 at the wheel, so it's making at the wheels what it's meant to make at the flywheel. That's a fast machine. Yeah, revving it to, I mean, I went to what, 6, I went to 7.5 there, nearly, which is kind of pointless with that car, because it's all done by 6. I mean, you could, if you were racing, you might go that high, but on the road, 6.5 is where the peak power tails off. Torque is broad. Torque is, I mean, that is good. That is, well, in pound-feet terms, 100 pound-feet is 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. 100 pound-foot is this line here, so that's 105 pound-foot. 105 pound-foot of the fly is being produced between 3.5 and 5,500 revs. That's quite a broad graph, and if you look at that figure at the wheels, because this thing has fairly short gearing, not short, not crazy short, like a Series 1 rally, but fairly short, that number actually correlates. Well, look at this one here. 250 pound-foot is being produced at the wheels in 4th gear, from 3,000 revs to 6,000 revs. And that is why these make smiles appear on your face. I'm just going to let it sit with a fan on it for a little while. We noticed with a car the other day that's appeared on there, the BX that was done the other day, the 1400, the numbers went up after it had had a chance to cool down. And this has been, although it's just had a long drive down here, so it might be that it's a bit hot. The oil temperature's halfway on the gauge, which is good for normal day-to-day driving, but for peak power it might be a bit too hot. So we'll see where we are. I think we'll give it a little chance to cool down. And my guess is that the first run was a bit of an anomaly, and it should actually be 114, 115, which is about 10 horsepower more than book, which is the same as Dumpit, which is also a Series 2 106. My eldest child refers to the 106s, the Series 2s, as the GOAT. He loves them. You might have a point. Right, I'm going to do it inside the car like we did with Dumpit, but bloody sun's like gone in and it's gone all dark, so put the lights on. So let's see how we go. The red light is the handbrake, don't worry about that. So if this run doesn't bring out that little spike, we have to ignore the first run. tell you what, it's got some shove, this. It must be so much fun just to go bombing around. This must be like, this is Dumpit on steroids. Well, well, well. And without the kink. Kinky. It is 116. 116 for the Series 2 Rally. Oh, look. Another impressive 106. Right, Dumpit from Wish. It's better than Dumpit, isn't it? Well, there's no other way to put it. 116 bhp, 13 horsepower more than the book figure. It's funny because 13 horsepower is actually the difference between what Bella the Hubnut Berlingo should put out and what it is. Same difference, only the other way, because that's a minus figure and this is a plus figure. That one's a failure and this one's done well. That is worryingly close to overtaking Hilda, but Dumpit, the AI version, has managed 116 horsepower in completely standard form when it should be making 103. It's supposed to make 103 horsepower at 6,200 and it's made 116 at 6,400 and 97 pound-feet of torque at 3,500. It's done 109 at 3,762 RPM. I know what's going to happen. But the kind of people who are going to write in the comments that, oh, the dyno's obviously wrong, they're not watching anymore because they stop watching after 5 minutes. They skip to the numbers and then they just hurry to the comments. The dyno, okay? This car is overperformed. It's a 106, it's massively overperformed. Dumpit, massively overperformed. People are going to go, oh, the dyno's overreading. If the dyno was overreading, all of these would be overperforming. But they're not. Only the TU engine cars. In fact, only 106s at the moment. Even the Saxo, well, one Saxo has, but yeah, none of them are overperforming. It's only the TU engine cars. You have to go for the most likely, most simple explanation. The most simple explanation, if all of these are overperforming, is the dyno's wrong. The most simple explanation, if only one type of car is overperforming, is that car was underquoted from new. Or the dyno, like, loves Peugeot 106s and it wants to lie about the numbers. It'd have a job because the dyno doesn't actually know this is a Peugeot 106. It's not plugged in. The only thing that ever gets plugged in is the HT lead sensor to see what the revs are doing. That's it. It doesn't. There's no OBD connection. It doesn't know this is a 106. It doesn't even know there's a car on it. There's no load sensor, so no weight. Right. Well, people are going to write things in the comment anyway, but it's good for the engagement factor. So thanks for watching, and yeah. Anyone got a 1 litre 106?